Okay, back another day, another video. Let's pick up where we left off with the starting company, the character draft. We're going to go back up into play. We're in the casual room. We have a game saved. This is the tutorial. We're going to load that. As you'll see, it pops up in the casual room, and we've got the game settings right there. If we look in the other rooms, you'll see there are no games right now, but back in the casual room, here we are. We're going to go ahead and start this. We don't select a deck because it already saved that before the last game saved, but we don't have any characters out, so we're just going to go ahead and throw them out here real quick. Give them their minor items by clicking on them. And let's go ahead and set our MPs. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5 character MPs. And free general influence, we're using 5, 4, 4, and 4. So 17. So we've got 3 free. Our hand size is 8. Everything else looks right. Now to explore the location deck. All of the sites are in the deck. They're grouped in a couple of different ways. These are dream card sites by category, by region, or not region, by zone on the map, I guess. Standard sites are going to be all of the ice sites. There are also buttons for the regions. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to lay out Rivendell for our starting company. So that's going to be in the standard sites button. So watch what happens when I push this button. We get a map with all the regions in the standard layout of the game. And if I click on one of these, it's going to pull up cards that are available from this region. So we've got some actual region cards that we could use if we were so inclined to play with them, which we're not. We've got all of the sites for that region that we have not so far used up and moved to our discard pile. You can go region by region and you'll see the different sites will pop up. We're going to go up here to Rudauer, where Rivendell is located. And the way to get these sites onto the table is to drag them to your hand first. So whenever you want to play a site, you get it on the map, you get the cards to pull up, you drag the card to your hand. If we were going to split these companies or we were going to leave one there, we could grab a second copy and drag that to our hand too. So we close the tab with the cards on it. We close the tab with the map. We click on the location deck and let this all go away. And now we can go ahead and place these site cards. The way they work is the same as placing a character card. You click on the card and it asks you where you want to put it. So we've got locale 1, which is Frodo, 2 is Sam, 3 is Merry, 4 is Pippin. We could throw it down into a new party, and that's going to start a new locale over there. And again, sites come in face down, the same as characters. You click on them to reveal. We're going to put this one in locale 1. And we're going to put this back in our deck. And we just drag it back to the deck, and it will... Come on. There we go. It will go back into the location deck. You normally set a site in the first column of a company. So this company of 4 characters is really one company. It's not 4 different companies, but they are each taking general influence to control, so none of them are in the same column as any others. A sight card will lay down for the first column and counts all the way over till you see another sight card. So let's say we were moving Merry and Pippin. To Bree. And let's say we were moving Frodo and Sam to Bag End. Close that, close that. Merry is in locale 1, 2, 3. He's in the third numbered column. So if I click on Bree, it's going to ask me which locale I want to put it in. I want to put it in the third one, which is Merry. So I click 3. It lines up with Merry, and it comes in face down. And now Frodo and Sam are going to move to this one. And this will go in locale 1. So this designates that I've got two companies. A company of two characters moving from Rivendell to this site. And since these guys all started out at the same site, Rivendell, I don't need another Rivendell down here. But this second two-character company is moving to another site. Clicking on the site turns it over. And if we want to indicate how we're getting there, we go back to the map, but we go to the regions map. So instead of standard sites, we're up here in standard regions. And when you click on these regions, watch over here to the right in the text box. I'm moving through Rhudaur, Arthedain, and the Shire, and I indicate that by clicking on each region once. That gives my opponent my site path. If I want to, he can read the card and he can see what the site type is. But if I wanted to, I can type over here freehold. And if I type the word freehold and I spell it just right, it gives me the icon for a freehold. So that's my region path, and that's my site type. Merry and Pippin would be moving to Bree from Rivendell. So we would do the same thing for them. When it's their movement hazard phase, I'm skipping some steps here, but I'm showing how to interact with the deck, with the location deck and the regions. So Merry and Pippin, we pull up the standard regions, and again we do the same thing. We're starting in Rhudaur because we're at Rivendell, and we're just going to Arthedain. And then this is a border hold, so if I type border hold, it gives me the border hold icon. Normally what you'll do when you move a company is you will give a site path. You don't normally give the site type because that's obvious on the card and there's only one site type, there's no choice. But you give the site path, and then you'll also say what the hazard limit is, and I will occasionally say what the draw is, so that if I got it wrong, didn't I? If I were moving with Alatar, the draw would be one less than what is printed on there, so sometimes it's a helpful reminder to give that draw number as well. But the hazard limit is usually pretty standard to give so that they know how many hazards they have to play.